What's going on, everyone? Domadeus coming back with another video. This is the final war video of Season 31. As you can see, our team is going to be Rank 4 Doom, Penny Parker, and Warlock, actually. The first time I'll be using Warlock in this war season. So we're going Path 9 to start this war off. We have this void that we've taken, I should say, a number of different times on this node here with Penny Parker. So I'm pretty confident in this fight. Go ahead and pop a 6-hour boost since this is the last war. We're boosting big. I want to make sure that we get all these fights down without too much stress here. So yeah, we're just pumping all these boosts here. Our officers were all saying, you know, boost big. It's the last one. You know, we're going to be on off season for a couple of weeks. Looking forward to all the new changes for Season 32. I know High Ground is going away, so I'm very happy about that, as I'm sure a lot of people are. But yeah, so go ahead here. Starting this fight off, normal strategy is just to get to under 10 combo, wait out that timer, dodge the L1s, and make sure we don't get degened to oblivion. So we go ahead here. We mess up the timing a little bit. We do take some degen damage. I feel like that's kind of par for the course for a fight like this against this void. So we go ahead and we actually wait out the timer again. We're at 19 hits. We hit 20 on accident, so we actually go ahead and go for the L2 just to make sure that we hit 30 real quick. Do take, I think, maybe one tick of degen there. Very, very crazy that this void is doing, you know, 2,000 damage every single second for just one of those debuffs. It's kind of nuts. So get a nice little parry there. We're able to get to 40 combo without too much stress. And yeah, this is a slow fight. Not really, you know, too much going on with it. Luckily, when the sync shield is up, we are able to mitigate some of the block damage. And there we go. We time out the debuff there. Gets a 50 combo. And this void is going nicely. So next up, yeah, I think maybe we're going to drop an L3 if I remember correctly. This was just a couple days ago, so there we go. There's the L3. You know, love the animation. You know, Spider throws Penny up in the air and we run at him. Nice little anime split screen there. I wish that the opponent hitting the wall there did some extra damage, but not exactly. There we go. We get the nice little power burn, if anything, so there's some nice little dot damage. Gets a 70 combo. So we are able to take off that debuff as well. Gonna wait out the timer here. Gonna go for a 5 combo and then into an L1. Not quite enough to take him out, unfortunately, but that's okay. We're gonna go ahead and reparry and take him down. So there we go, Penny Parker. Again, probably one of my MVPs for this season. I'll be doing kind of a more in-depth look at some of the champions that I liked using, but Penny Parker has come in so clutch for these lanes. So I'm very happy that I took her up, you know, about a month ago, because she's been putting in work. So, and always happy to use new characters in war or in any content. So next up, we have this Wasp fight. This is an easy one. I've fought Wasp many times, as I'm sure most of you have. You just got to bait out those heavy attacks, bait out the L1s, and luckily she's a bit of a glass cannon, so we're not going to be in this fight for very long at all, as you'll see. So now we're just going to bait out that L1. She's being a little stingy here, so we're just going to wait her out. Try not to let her get too many altitude charges. She already has one. Now she has the indestructible buff. We go ahead and throw the L1 to get some more Spider Sense charges so we can do a big L2 later on in this fight. Hit into the stun there since she can't evade while she's stunned. And there we go. There's another L1. She has 2 altitude charges now, so we got to be extra careful. Luckily, true accuracy doesn't prevent auto block, so if we do end up getting hit, we'll be able to be saved by that auto block that Penny Parker has when she's being attacked. So there we go, another L1 out of Wasp here, and then I think this is going to be enough to get to an L2, and there you go, big giant red numbers, and there you go, Wasp goes down. Amazing fight with Penny. I love when I can use that L2 to its fullest potential. So next up, we have this Spider Ham, which is on the same node as the last war, where the Overseer was on. I forget what number it is, actually. And Spider Ham, initially, I wasn't too scared, because I knew I was going to be able to throw L2s if I really needed to. We throw in invulnerability just because I know that he's going to be able to go unblockable at certain points. In retrospect, I probably should have dueled him a few times just to remember some of his mechanics with his Spider Sense charges and all that. But we go in here. And you'll see. So we're doing okay so far. He's going down pretty easily. Nah, he has 0 of the charges there. He does have the hazard shift, but we're not worrying about that since we are immune to poison and incinerate. And now we have that taunt on us, and this is where things started to get a little hairy. Because as you see, when we punish the L1, we get that taunt on us, and I forget if we, and this is why I should have dueled him, because I forgot if we don't punish him, if we get the taunt or not. So something that I need to actually do some research on. He's up at 9 charges there. Luckily, we're able to auto block the fights, the retaliation that he gets on us. And there you go. He goes for the L1 and the unblockable. There goes the last 2 indestructible charges. And then this is where things start to go a little sideways. Luckily, the auto block is coming in clutch here. And I'm noticing now, I'm watching this back. Oh, stand your ground coming in handy as well. Got that resist. There we go. So now he's back at 1. He's back at 2. He's back at 3. So now we're going to go in here. We do have those porker poppers on us. So we got to be extra careful. And there he goes. He goes unblockable again. And this is, I'm starting to get cornered a little bit. So it's starting to be a little tricky here. So we go for a heavy attack just to try to get him away from us. I'm trying not to let him get to an L2 just because that's going to do a lot of block damage. But again, in retrospect, I probably could have blocked the L2 since we have the Sing Shield and she's not going to take any block damage. So there we go. We end up throwing an L3 just to get out of the corner because he was going to hit into us anyway. And as this is playing, I'm like, I'm probably just going to die to the power stings. So we come out of the L3, and just like that, we die. So that is really unfortunate. The very last war of the season, we end up taking our 2nd death. So I waited a couple minutes. I talked to my officers. I told them, you know what, I can go back in. You know, he's down at 20%. Like, I took down the first 20% without too much trouble. So I ended up going back in, healing Penny up all the way pretty much, and taking this guy down because I was just so upset. I was really hoping we were going to be able to get through the rest of the season without a 2nd death. But there it is. Spider-Ham got the best of us. And we also found out that we had an anti-venom on one of our teams that someone could have used since he, like Venom, is able to pretty much ignore Spider-Verse Champions Evade mechanics. So, you know what? Hindsight is 20/20. Now we know if we do have a Spider-Ham on this node or anywhere really, if anyone's running, anti-venom with Spider-Man 2099 or, the like, then we can bring in that. And especially because of Hazard Shift, Incinerate, and Poison, anti-venom is also immune to those 2 debuffs, so that would have been a good play as well. But there you go, 2nd death, unfortunately. But next up, we have another Apocalypse on node 24. This has become one of my favorite fights because I'm able to bring in rank 4 Doom and totally just dominate. This is actually, I think, the 4th time we've taken this APOC mini-boss. I don't know if he's considered a mini-boss at this point. Someone can correct me in the comments. But yeah, we are still boosted big with that 30% 6-hour boost. Looks like we are out of the Mystic special or power boosts, I should say. So we just pop a 12% special boost, and that's going to help us take this guy down. We're at 6,700 attack, which is just ridiculous, man. I check in the store here, loyalty, just another special boost for Mystic, so I got to make sure to get some Mystic power boosts when they come back around because this has kind of become my fight in my battle group, just because I take it down pretty easily, and rank 4 Doom is just ridiculous. So there we go. That's going to be the boost that we have. I was debating whether or not I wanted to pop. Well, actually, no. We ended up doing power boost so we can get to the L3 quicker. That's kind of the main strategy, so I wasn't worried about popping my last invulnerability boost, which is good. So we go in here. This is just, normal kind of clockwork for me, really. We just are, trying not to parry. Make sure we're not dexing the specials. Make sure, to make sure he's not throwing specials. Try not to get the dexterity buff on the heavy attack when he throws the heavy. Force block so he doesn't throw specials, like I said. And luckily, the increased power rate from being a rank 4 comes in handy as well because we're almost at the L3 here. And there we go. Drop the L3. Get the 12% bonus. And we're going to drop this L3. do the Doom cycle, drop an L2, and then from there the fight's pretty much over. But again, one of my favorite fights in War, and you know, finding out that I could do this pretty easily was definitely a nice little pick me up. And after that Spider-Ham fight, I was like, you know what? Let me get some redemption off of this here, Apocalypse. Let me smack him around a little bit. 40 hits, Apocalypse is down. Gotta love rank 4 Doom, man. He is so good. Last up, we are back on path 1 for section 2. We have a Mysterio fight and a Domino fight. That's when we're going to use Warlock, but first we're going to use this here, Dr. Doom, against this Mysterio fight. My game was glitching out a little bit, which was, I don't know what was happening. It was just taking a long time to load, which I don't know. I feel like people have been complaining about that lately. So let me know in the comments if you've also experienced that in the last, you know, couple weeks or so with the game just taking so long to load. So we're actually going to pop, oh yes, we're not using Doom here. We're just using Warlock. So we pop some power boost, we pop some special boost, and looking for the special boost, there it is. So Warlock's going to go in here and take these guys down since they do have Vigor. Pop our last invulnerability boost, and we're going to go to town with Warlock here, man. Always like bringing Warlock to War just because he's so versatile. You know, his damage isn't the greatest, but you know what? When we're boosted, you can't tell the difference, and he's just silly, man. Look at that run. Still, after all this time, some of my favorite, you know, entering fight animations in the game. So we're going to go for some parry heavies to get our infection charges up, and now he is infected. So in that way, you know, when we have debuffs on him, since I'm, you know, pretty much always running willpower as are all of our opponents, he's going to be degenning some. My Warlock is only SIG 20, so the degen isn't going to be super crazy. We also waited out that damage reflect timer there, and he got the Vigor, but luckily he's infected, so he's not going to be regenning. He's going to get power drained and all that good stuff. He's armor broken, so he's not getting any of his abilities, and Warlock just takes his fight down. Oh, so cleanly. Go Warlock, man. And here we go. Our last fight is going to be against this Domino. The last fight in the war, actually. I'm pretty sure they had taken down the boss at this point. So Warlock's going to go in here. Indomitable Buffet, so that's going to be a little tricky to work around since she's going to eat up our armor break, or our armor buff, I should say, right at the top of the fight. But luckily, since her medium attacks are non-contact, we're going to be able to power drain her a little bit and do a little bit of degen damage, so that's always nice. And yeah, this Domino fight, definitely not scary with Warlock since he does have a lot of block proficiency, and then, you know, when the armor is up, he's not taking as much damage. So yeah, we're just going in here, and she gets a little evade on us, which is annoying. We're going to try to push her to the L2 since that's much easier to avoid. And another evade on us. Luckily, she didn't retaliate that time or the time before, or else that would have been bad news. So we go in here, go for the L2, get some power back. It's looking good for us. She's degen a little bit. Dodge that. Another L2. And there we go. Fight's done. Warlock going in, man. So that's going to be the last fight of Season 31. We ended up taking the win with this one, which is really good. I'm very happy with how we did this season. We ended up placing, well, I'll save that for the next video, for the rewards video. So make sure you stay tuned for that. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.